Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Rohan Bijou, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the Samsung Odyssey OLED G8. So I bought this at Best Buy a couple days back for around $950, which is pretty expensive, but it's decently priced for an OLED monitor. And we're going to talk about this monitor in today's video. So first, we're going to do unboxing, then I'm going to talk about setup, which is a bit tricky, so you're going to have to follow along. Then I'm going to talk about the physical specs, and then the display specs, and then finally, I'm going to talk about my final thoughts and my final score for the Samsung Odyssey OLED G8. So before we begin, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to watch more future content like this. Like this video if you found this helpful, and comment any questions or concerns, and I'll try my best to answer them. So without further ado, let's go straight into the unboxing. Here we have the box for the Samsung Odyssey OLED G8, which looks pretty similar to the boxes for other Odyssey monitors I've reviewed before. Let's open it up and see what we have inside. The first thing we spot is the neck of the monitor, which feels really sturdy and high quality and not flimsy at all. Next, there's the base, which is made out of metal and has a solid, hefty feel to it. And now let's set those aside and see what else we get in the box. Moving on, we have the cables. A USB Type A to Type B upstream cable, a DisplayPort cable, an HDMI cable, the power adapter, which is fairly large, and along with that, we get a second part of the power cord that connects to the adapter. Then we have the remote, which is very similar to Samsung smart TV remotes, and we get that with this monitor because this monitor is a smart monitor. And then lastly, we have paperwork. Now let's put them aside and take out the monitor. It feels pretty weighty and feels super premium, and the silver and black aesthetic really stand out and is quite similar to the G6, and I'm a pretty big fan of the design. Awesome, so that was pretty much it for the unboxing. Now let's specifically talk about the setup. So setting up this monitor is a bit different from other Samsung Odyssey monitors, so you'll have to pay close attention to the instructions you get in the box. If you watched my last video on the OLED G6, it's pretty much the same. First, start with the base and neck. Take a look at the base and you'll see some arrows, so find the one that points to the side. Align the arrow on the bottom of the neck with the arrow on the base and then gently push it down. Once it's lined up, twist the neck into place to make sure it's secure. Next, lay the monitor flat on the table and slide the neck into the slot on the back of the monitor. You'll hear a satisfying click when it locks into place, and just like that, your monitor is fully assembled. All that's left is to remove the plastic wrapping, connect it to your PC or console, and you're ready to dive in. Awesome, so that was pretty much it for the unboxing and setup. Now let's talk about the physical specs. First off, the build quality is excellent. The monitor is primarily made of black and silver plastic, but the base is metal, which gives it a sturdy and premium feel. Nothing about the design feels compromised, and I couldn't spot any obvious flaws in the build like the G6. On the front, the bezel has a silver rim around it, which some people might find it sleek and stylish, but depending on what's on your screen or what aesthetic you're going for, it could be distracting. But if you really like an all-white aesthetic or a gray aesthetic, this monitor would be amazing for that. The neck of the monitor sticks with the silver and black color scheme and is made entirely out of plastic. It also has a small gray silicone tab for wire management. It's not super fancy, but it does get the job done and helps keep your setup a little neater. Now the base is a bit on the larger side, so it does take up quite a lot of desk space, but if that's an issue, you have the option to mount the monitor on a 100x100 VESA mount, which is a great alternative. On the back, you'll notice the signature Odyssey design, and for the OLED models, Samsung has moved away from the bulky protruding ring design on the back, which you see in previous monitors. Instead, the G8 features a more minimal ring with core RGB lighting, and honestly, it looks amazing. So if the back of the monitor is near a wall, the lighting creates a really vivid effect that is better than the other OLED G8 I reviewed before. Plus, you can fully customize the lighting, which is a nice bonus. So the customization options are endless. You have static options where you can change it to a specific color. It has options where it changes and there's gradients. And there's also a feature where it detects what's on your screen and accordingly displays a color on the back of the screen. There is a slight delay with this feature, which is pretty funny. So if you have a really bright scene and a dark scene, the light in the back will take at least a second to register that. But apart from that, the lighting is pretty nice if you want to spice up your setup. Also in the back is the power button, which doubles as a joystick for navigating the menu system, and I personally love this design. It's super intuitive and makes tweaking your settings quick and hassle-free. This is also where the monitor's ports are located. It includes a PC in port, 2 USB service ports, 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, a DisplayPort 1.4, and a DC24V port for power. The layout is straightforward and user-friendly, making it simple to connect all your devices without any hassle. One of the HDMI ports also doubles as an ARC port to pass audio down to a soundbar, for example. So if you don't want to use the monitor's inbuilt speakers, this is an option since there's no traditional 3.5mm audio out port for this monitor. It's also worth noting that the monitor has built-in speakers, which is great, but not the best in the world. And if you don't have any current speaker alternatives, this would be amazing. And here is a quick demo of the speakers. Now let's talk about the ergonomics for this monitor, which is a big plus point for me. The monitor has a height adjustment to up to 4.7 inches, which is 12 centimeters, and has a tilt range from -25 to 2.5 degrees. You can rotate the monitor vertically in both directions, which is perfect if you want a really high quality vertical monitor setup, which is a bit crazy because it's a 32-inch monitor that is 4K and has a really high refresh rate and is OLED. This might be a bit overpowered for that, but if you do want it, this is an option. The monitor also has a swivel range of -30 to 30 degrees, giving you decent flexibility for adjustments. If you need even more flexibility, you can mount the monitor on an arm, but with what's provided, I think the ergonomic options are amazing. Awesome, so that was pretty much it for the physical specs. Now let's talk about the display specs. First off, this monitor is a 32-inch UHD 4K monitor with a quantum dot OLED panel technology, which is a game changer when it comes to contrast and color accuracy. With an infinite to 1 contrast ratio, you get no blooming at all since each pixel is individually lit. You're basically getting perfect local dimming without needing any backlight. And the result, you get gorgeous transitions between light and dark areas on your screen, and the black levels are just amazing. Plus, the gray and black uniformity are some of the best I've seen on a monitor like this. When it comes to colors, this monitor covers 99% of the DCI-P3 color space, so everything looks super vibrant and lifelike. The color accuracy is on another level, and everything just pops whether you're gaming, watching movies, or editing content. And there's no weird banding in any way, which is a common issue with some of these displays. On top of that, it supports HDR10, which takes things up a notch. HDR10 makes highlights brighter, shadows deeper, and details more pronounced in HDR content, which gives it a much more immersive feel. Now, part of what makes the HDR performance so incredible is Samsung's NQ8 AI Gen 3 processor. This is the same AI-powered tech that they use in their flagship 8K TVs, and it does wonders for this monitor. It pushes the OLED panels to its limits, making highlights in HDR content practically glow against those deep inky blacks. Whether you're playing visually demanding games or diving into story-driven ones, the sharpness, clarity, and contrast are absolutely breathtaking. The processor also upscales content from a lower resolution to give you a more 4K look, which is also great. That said, there is no Dolby Vision support, which is a bit of letdown because Dolby Vision could have made the HDR experience even better, but even without it, the visuals are still stunning. Now let's talk about brightness. So this monitor is rated at 250 nits, which isn't the brightest out there, but it's good enough for most situations. In SDR, it works perfectly fine in brighter rooms, though you'll get the best experience in a darker setting, especially with HDR content. Now let's talk about the gaming specific specs, because this monitor packs some serious performance. First up, it has a 240Hz refresh rate, which is fantastic for competitive gaming, but that being said, if you're gearing up for an esports tournament, this might not be your monitor because something with a TN panel would be better suited for that kind of ultra competitive environment. The response time is listed as 0.03 milliseconds for this monitor, which is insanely fast, but realistically, it's probably closer to 0.2 or 0.3 milliseconds, but even then, it's still lightning quick and perfect for fast-paced gameplay. To really take full advantage of the 240Hz refresh rate, a high-performance PC is your best bet. However, if you're gaming on a next-gen console, you'll still enjoy up to 4K at 120Hz with HDR support, which is an amazing experience in its own right. This monitor also comes with variable refresh rate support, including AMD FreeSync Premium Pro. So this means that the GPU and the monitor stay in perfect sync, so you don't have to deal with annoying screen tearing, lag, or stuttering. On top of that, is also G-Sync compatible, so if you're using an NVIDIA GPU, you're covered there too. But this monitor isn't only just for gaming or work, it also doubles as a smart TV with built-in streaming apps, so you can kick back and watch your favorite shows or movies directly from it. There's also a gaming hub for cloud streaming, which is pretty cool, and you can stream games without needing a PC or console. That said, if you're buying this monitor, odds are you already have a PC, so the gaming hub might not be a game changer for everyone. Navigating the smart features is super easy thanks to the included remote, which also has voice commands, which is a nice little bonus. The only downside that I see overall with the Samsung Smart TV is the thing about settings. The thing about settings is that the design is very different from previous Samsung Odyssey monitors. It feels a little too much like Samsung TV's operating system, and it's a little bit too smooth. I really like the previous versions of the Odyssey settings because it was really easy to look at. You have all your information that you need, but since obviously there is this smart TV added element, there's a lot more settings, different settings, including the speaker settings and much more. Overall, it's a little bit confusing for me, but it's not really a big deal if you don't really care about the settings as a whole. So one thing I usually worry about with OLED monitors is text clarity, but the Samsung Odyssey OLED G8 handles it beautifully. Whether you're writing, reading, or working on text-heavy tasks, Everything looks crisp, so if you need a monitor that's great for productivity as well as gaming and entertainment, this one checks those boxes. Awesome, so that was pretty much it for the display specs. Now let's talk about my final thoughts and my final score for the Samsung Odyssey OLED G8. Alright, so the Samsung Odyssey OLED G8 definitely delivers on a lot of fronts. The design is sleek and premium, and the OLED panel really brings visuals to life with its deep contrast and vibrant colors. Gaming feels incredibly smooth thanks to the 240Hz refresh rate and low response times and the HDR performance. Even without Dolby Vision, it's still impressive. The smart features and RGB lighting add a nice touch, making it a solid all-round monitor for work, play, or entertainment. At $950, it's not exactly cheap, and while the brightness might not blow you away, it's perfectly fine for most setups, especially in dimmer spaces. The base is a bit bulky, but it could be fixed with a monitor arm, but overall, this monitor is a really strong choice for those looking for a high-end monitor that checks a lot of these boxes in terms of entertainment, work, as well as gaming. It's not overboard in competitive specs, but overall it's a well-rounded monitor with smart home TV features if you want it more laid back. So based on the pros and cons, the final score I would give this monitor is a 90 out of 100. It's not better than the G6 I reviewed before, that's sort of my frame of reference here, but overall it is a well-rounded monitor. I really enjoyed a large display that makes you feel much more immersed in your visuals, as well as the speakers, which is a nice added touch since I personally don't have a speaker system installed. Instead, I just listen directly from my headphones, which I feel a lot of people might. But overall, those are my thoughts for this monitor. And as always, I've left links in the description if you want to go check out this monitor. So before we end, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to watch more future content like this. Like this video if you found this helpful, and comment any questions or concerns, and I'll try my best to answer them. So thank you guys for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace.